こんにちは、もよ先生です。今日も一緒に勉強しましょう。今日のテーマはこちらです。We are learning how to describe people in Japanese. With this sentence pattern, you can describe someone's physical features, things like she has long hair, she has big eyes, or she's tall. But it doesn't stop there. This useful pattern can also be used to talk about someone's abilities and skills, and even some aspects of their personality. So, how's this sentence pattern work? Let's take a look. So, here's the sentence pattern. X は Y が and then a description. Let's see what this looks like with real words. 田中さんは髪が長いです。Tanaka-san has long hair. Now let's look at the sentence structure and match each part to the pattern. Tanaka-san is the X, the person we're talking about. Kami or hair is the Y, the particular part we're describing. And nagai desu is the description. It tells us that the hair is long. Now look at that second part. One more time. 髪が It takes が not は and not お が That's the main important point we're going to focus on in today's lesson. Before we go any further, there's one important thing I want to point out. We learned about particle が in the previous episode. In episode 62, we learned that が can point to new information, something that is new to the listener. But today's が has different job. Look at our sentence again. 田中さんは髪が長いです. Here, 髪 or hair isn't new information. Instead, が points to the particular part of Tanaka-san that we're describing. Same particle, different job. So this is a new sentence structure with a new use of が. Rather than trying to connect it to the が you learned in episode 62, learn this as a new pattern. X は Y が something です. So let's see how this new sentence pattern works. Here is the shape. 3 boxes. 1, 2, 3. First box. X は is the whole person, the person we're talking about. Second box. Y が is one particular part of that person, the part we're describing. Third box, an adjective plus です, which tells us what that part is like. Now, here's a helpful way to understand this pattern. Translate it very literally. As for X, Y is something. So let's look at our example. 田中さんは髪が長いです. 田中さんは this tells us who we're talking about. In this case, 田中さん. Then 髪が Kami means hair. So now we've moved from the whole person to the specific part we're describing. And finally, 長いです is long. So 長い is describing the hair, not Tanaka-san. If we translate the sentence literally, it means, as for Tanaka-san, the hair is long. That sounds strange in English, so naturally we say Tanaka-san has long hair. But notice, the Japanese doesn't use a word for have here. Japanese simply tells us who we're talking about, then identifies the particular part we're describing. So you can think of the sentence in 2 levels. は give us a big topic, the person we're talking about. Got points to the particular part we're describing. Once you see that relationship, this sentence pattern becomes much easier to understand. Okay, now I want you to try one. Let's say Moyo Sensei has big eyes. How would you say that in Japanese? Take a moment and write it down. You can even pause the video and put your answer in the comments. Okay, let's check. もよ先生は目が大きいです。If you wrote this, you got it. This is a perfectly natural Japanese sentence, and it's a much more natural way to describe someone's physical feature. But if you wrote this, もよ先生の目は大きいです。This sentence is also grammatically correct, but it has a different focus. The first sentence is about Moyo Sensei. We're talking about her and describing one of her features. Her eyes are big. The second sentence, Moyo Sensei no me wa, is about the eyes. We've made the eyes the topic, and we're saying that they're big. So when you're making a sentence, ask yourself, who or what am I talking about? That what takes what. And here's the thing, when you describe how a person looks, you're almost always talking about the person, not about their eyes or their hair or their hands. So in real Japanese, sentence number 1 is what you'll hear. Number 2 is grammatically fine, but it's rare because it's not usually what you want to say. So when you describe someone's features, reach for pattern number 1. X は Y が something です。Now, how about particle O? Can we use an object marker particle O here? Some of you might want to say, 田中さんは髪を長いです。Because in English, we say he has long hair, and has feels like a verb with an object. But look, 長い is an adjective. It is not a verb. There's no action in this sentence, and o always needs a verb after it. So o simply has no job here. It has to be ga. All right, I think you've got the hang of it. Let me challenge you with 2 sentences this time. Are you ready? Please write this sentence down first. Number 1. Moyo Sensei's ring is pretty. Moyo Sensei's ring is pretty. Now, the word for ring is yubiwa. Okay, so use that word. And number 2, Moyo Sensei has beautiful fingers. Fingers means, yubi means finger. So, yubiwa is ring, yubi is finger. So, please use these words to write these 2 sentences. Pause the video and write both of them down. All right, ready? The first one, let's look at the first one first. もよ先生の指輪は綺麗です。This one takes は and here's why. A ring is not part of me. It's something I'm wearing. So the ring stands on its own. It becomes the topic of the sentence, and then we say something about it. It's pretty. Okay, now the second one. もよ先生は指が綺麗です。This one takes が My fingers are not something I'm wearing. They're part of me. So I am the topic, and Yubi is the part we zoom in on. As for Moyo Sensei, the fingers are beautiful. So do you see the difference? Same hand, same picture, but one is about a ring and the other is about me. So here's your test. Is it something the person's wearing or carrying? Then it can be its own topic and it takes wa. Is it part of the person? Then the person is the topic and the part takes ga. Now here's one of my favorite examples because it shows us how this pattern can go beyond physical features. 田中さんは頭がいいです。頭 means head. So it's a body part, just like hair or eyes. The sentence has the same shape. X は Y が adjective. But here's the interesting part. 頭がいい means smart or intelligent. It does not mean that Tanaka-san's head looks nice. So we've gone from describing something we can see, like hair or eyes, to describing what a person is like. And we can go even farther. 田中さんは性格がいいです。性格 means personality. So this means Tanaka-san has a good personality, or simply Tanaka-san is a nice person. Notice that the same pattern hasn't changed. The person takes wa, the thing we're describing takes ga. Then comes the description. X は Y が something です。Let me show you one more way that you can use this pattern. So far we've used X は Y が plus adjective です。To describe things like physical features, personality, and abilities. But this pattern can also be used with a verb you already know. わかります to understand. For example, in English we say, I understand French. So you might expect フランス語をわかります。But in Japanese, わかります takes が not o. So we say, 田中さんはフランス語がわかります。田中さん understands French. Notice that we're using the same pattern. X は Y が and you may already be familiar with a sentence like 日本語がわかります。For now, わかります is the only verb you've learned that fits this pattern this way. As you continue studying, you will come across more verbs that can also fit into the same sentence structure. So now, the important thing to remember is simple. わかります takes が not o. So how do you say I understand Japanese? そうです。皆さんは日本語がわかります。So that's today's lesson. Look at what you can do now with just one sentence pattern. 髪が長いです。You can describe someone's physical features. 頭がいいです。You can describe what someone is like. And フランス語がわかります。You can talk about someone's abilities or skills. The pattern is simple. X は Y が something です or わかります。And remember, が has more than one job. In episode 62, we learned about が pointing to new information. Today, we learned a different use. が points to the particular part or thing we're describing. Now, try using this sentence pattern to describe someone in your family. or one of your friends or pet. Is your dog smart? My dog Olive is. オリーブはとても頭がいいです。Olive also runs very fast. So how would I say that in Japanese? オリーブは足が速いです。足 means leg and 速い means fast. So オリーブは足が速いです。Olive has fast legs, or more naturally, Olive runs fast. Now it's your turn. Write a sentence about someone in your life and leave it in the comments. I always enjoy reading your sentences and seeing what you come up with. So thank you so much for studying with me today. また次のエピソードで会いましょう。それじゃあまた、さよなら。